Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Good evening. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. TGIF. Happy Friday. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello. Welcome into the live. We are doing some more anatomy and physiology for HESI and TEAS. This is some prep going on here. For those who have it coming up, hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks for joining. Hello, hello. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a second. Thanks for following. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to go over some anatomy and physiology for HESI and TEAS. So we'll get started here in just a second. I'll let some more people get in here so we can get some people, as many people in here before we get started. But hello, how's everyone doing? How's everybody's Friday night going? Finally kind of just sat down for the day, so now hop on a live stream. How's everyone doing? Hello, hello. Hello, welcome in, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started here in just a moment. How's everyone doing? Hope you all are having a great Friday night. But let's go ahead and get started here. I'm doing great. Thank you. I've had a great day so far, so thanks for asking. My comments here messing up a little bit. Shante, good. Glad you're doing well. Sarah, hello. How are you? I am good. How are you? What's up? Oh boy, my comments are all messed up. Hold on. I'm going to refresh my thing real quick. Thank you for these lives. Yeah, no problem. We'll go ahead and get started now, guys. Number one, which of the following prefixes refers to a structure surrounding or around another structure? Thanks, everybody, for joining, and thanks for liking the live. Thanks for following and participating. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you guys. I hope that you guys are having a good Friday night. Awesome, we got C here. The answer is C. Endo is inside. Epi means above. Para means beside, or like near. Moving on to number two. Yep, exactly. Awesome. Hello, welcome everybody. If you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics for your A&P class, for the HESI and TEAS, and some of your other exams as well. But if you're new here, welcome in. I appreciate you guys following. We're moving on to number two now. If a physician describes a painful condition of a joint, which of the following terms would they use? But if you are new here, I do have study guides for anatomy and physiology on my website. That's available in my bio. And then the replays of these lives are on YouTube afterwards. So every replay that I've done, or every live stream that I've done through TikTok is available for you to watch afterwards on YouTube, and that's all linked in my bio as well. Awesome, guys. Thanks for the participation. Thanks for all the follows, guys. You guys are awesome. But it is C, arthralgia. That basically refers to, algia means pain, arth means joints, so joint pain. Arthroplasty means surgical repair or replacement of a joint. B, arthrodesis, that is the surgical fusion of a joint. And arthrolysis is the surgical loosening of a joint. Number three, a hypogastric region would be located. Yes, I do go over biology sometimes, yes. Most of the time it's... my goodness, why is my comment so messed up today? Most of the time it's A&P, but yeah, I do some biology, some chemistry, sometimes some psychology, pharmacology. We do a lot of different things. But right now, everyone has TEAS and HESIs coming up, so we have been kind of preparing for that. This is great anatomy and physiology practice for anything, any discipline, but these are more so questions that are similar to the TEAS. But if you are just joining, welcome. My name is Ollie. Thank you so much for joining. But it is, the answer choice here is A. It's below the stomach. Hypo means below, gastric means stomach, so therefore below the stomach. Epigastric, epi means above, gastric means stomach. So you can distinguish the differences between those two. Number 4, the term hematopoiesis refers to... We're on number 4 now, guys. If you're just joining us, welcome in. If you've missed these questions or if you miss anything, the replay's on YouTube afterwards and it's linked in my bio. The term hematopoiesis refers to... Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thanks for the following. Thanks for sharing the live, and thanks for liking the live. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. But it is B. It is the formation of blood cells. The formation of blood cells. Moving on to number 5. If a patient has polyuria, what is happening in their body? If a patient has polyuria, what is happening in their body? But hello, everybody. Welcome in. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. My name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. And then I do have my study guides for A&P on my website. It's linked in my bio. And then if you're just joining us or you can't stay for the whole thing, so erythropoiesis is red blood cells. Erythropoiesis, I saw that comment. Erythropoiesis is red blood cells. Hematopoiesis is blood cells. Remember, blood kind of refers to any form, like the white blood cells, platelets, kind of things like that. So, the answer is C. It is an excessive urine output. Excessive urine output. Number 6, which suffix indicates a surgical removal of a body part or organ? Thank you for the cream cone. Who sent that? Bougie, thank you for the cream cone. I appreciate you. Thanks for following, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for participating. You guys are awesome. Let's see if I can refresh this again. My thing is so messed up. All right, awesome. Okay, that's a little better, I think. Perfect. Awesome. So for number 6, which suffix indicates a surgical removal of a body part or organ? It is B. It is an ectomy. Stomy means an opening. Otomy means to cut or make an incision. And plasty is a surgical repair, like a reconstruction. Number 7, a patient with bradycardia would likely exhibit which of the following symptoms? A patient with bradycardia would... Hey, Pamela, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you. I hope you're doing well. Always love... How much times do I go live per week? I go live every day. Sometimes I don't go live on Saturdays. Normally it's like Sunday through Friday, but tomorrow I'm actually probably going to go live. And we're probably going to go through the endocrine hormones, filling out my chart or whatever. I know a lot of people were very interested in that. Not sure what time yet, probably in the early afternoon. But number 7, it is decreased heart rate. Brady means slow. I don't know if anyone watches football, but I always remembered that it was a decreased heart rate or slower. Tom Brady was very, like, when he runs, he's just very slow. So that's how I always kind of remembered it, if anyone watches football. But that's how I always remembered it. It's been tricky with work. That's okay. Yes. Moving on to number 8, the term hepatomegaly refers to... The term hepatomegaly refers to... Awesome. It is enlargement of the liver. Hepato means liver. Megaly means enlarged. Enlargement of the liver. Number 9. Which of the following medical terms describes difficulty or painful swallowing? And if you're just joining us or you missed any of the questions from earlier, the live replay is on YouTube. It's linked in my bio afterwards. They get posted pretty much within 24 hours of the live. So normally the same day or the next day. Awesome, awesome. So number 9, which of the following medical terms describes difficulty or painful swallowing? It is A, it's aphasia. This means painful. Aphasia means swallowing, so painful or difficulty swallowing. Moving on to number 10, if a structure is located closer to the point of attachment on a limb, it is referred to as... Number 10, if a structure is located closer to the point of attachment on a limb, it is referred to as... Fantastic. It is B. It is proximal. So the way I remember proximity, proximal is in proximity to, distal is in distance to. All right, now we're moving on. I have some chemistry questions coming up. Number 11, which type of chemical bond involves the sharing of electron pairs between atoms? Which type of chemical bond involves the sharing of electron pairs between atoms? Awesome. It is covalent. B. The answer choice is B. Guys, remember that is if they share, they are cooperating. Covalent, co. Thanks for sharing, guys. I appreciate you guys sharing and following. Hey, Karen, how you doing? Ionic is when it steals or takes it. Like think of like I and me, like I take your electron. 12, a solution with a pH of 2 is considered. Thank you, Karen, for the rose. Appreciate you. Thanks for the follows, guys. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I appreciate it. If you're new here, my name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I've been tutoring and teaching anatomy for about 5 or 6 years now. And I go live every day, covering A&P topics. Sometimes it's specific chapters. Sometimes I try to go over a bunch at once, just to cover as many topics as possible. Like I know a lot of people have a TEAS and HESI coming up, and that is pretty much that's a pretty big part of the exam. So these lives I've been told have been pretty helpful for those. So since a lot of people have them coming up, I figured I would do some. But yes, I do appreciate you guys so much. But number 12, a solution with a pH of 2 is considered strongly acidic. Remember that it is anything below 7. So 7 is neutral. So if it's above 7 up to 14, this is basic, and then below down to 0 is acidic. So being that it's 2, it is strongly acidic. A weak acid would be like probably like 4 or 5. Neutral 7. Alkaline basic would be anything higher than 7. So hopefully that made sense. Moving on to number 13. Which macromolecule serves as the primary source of energy for cellular functions? Do I have any tips for memorizing? When do I do these lives? It kind of varies. Melissa, thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Hi. I hope you are well as well. I had A&P last semester. This is a good refresher. Do I have any tips for memorization? Can I move it over? Which way? Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Can't see the page. Gotcha. Sorry. Sorry, let me zoom out some too. Some people are saying, is it better now? Perfect, thank you. All right, so number 13 here is C, carbohydrates. So your main form of energy is actually carbs. A lot of people are putting proteins, but proteins are actually very rarely used for energy. It's mostly in cases of like starvation, but it's mainly carbohydrates. This is our quicker. We use this quicker, and then our like long term, we use fats, so lipids. But hello, everybody. I see a lot of people are new here. My name's Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine. I teach anatomy and physiology, and we go live on here every day. Most of the time, between 11 and noon, I start at Eastern Standard Time. But I also do have study guides for A&P. They're available on my website. And then if you are just joining us and miss some questions, I do post the replay of this to YouTube so you can watch back, or if you miss one or anything. So, moving on to number 14. In water, or H2O, the oxygen atom is more electronegative than the hydrogen atoms. What type of molecule would that be? As I'm doing my chem homework. My YouTube is on YouTube, and my website is Medzeg. It's where all of my study guides are for you guys for A&P. But it is polar. It is C. So water is a polar molecule, mainly because the oxygen atom, since it's more electronegative, it attracts electrons more strongly, creating a positive. It creates a partial negative and positive charge, which is also referred to as a dipole. Basically, this has water has a positive and a negative end to it. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me just make sure here. Fun fact, human skin pH is 5.5, whereas a dog's is more alkaline in comparison to 7.5. I did not know that. Yes, polar because of dipole movement. Geometry bent, yes. Man, my comments are so messed up today. But anyway, number 15, enzymes function by... I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer that one. We're on number 15 now. If you're just joining us, welcome in. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. Thanks for liking the live, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. But 15 is C. It lowers the activation energy. Basically, by lowering the amount of activation energy required, it speeds up the reactions. Number 16, which organelle is responsible for modifying, packaging, and transporting proteins? So we have some cellular biology questions here now, guys. Thank you for the rose, Emily. I appreciate you. Look at the Gibbs free energy graph. Yep, exactly. Thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for liking the live as well. You guys are awesome. You guys actually just make... How long have I been live today? Probably not even 20 minutes. So it hasn't been very long. I have about 60 questions here to go through, so however long that takes is however long I will be live. But I've been working all day and out and about, so it definitely will be ending at the end of the questions for sure. But 16, it is the Golgi apparatus. It's responsible for modifying, packaging, and transporting proteins. It's often, if you have a hard time remembering, it's often referred to as the post office. Moving on to number 17. And if you were just joining and you miss a question or anything, the live replay is on YouTube afterwards. It'll be uploaded to YouTube afterwards if you miss anything. But number 17, what is the primary function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? I just get confused. I like that. I am trying to go through them a little. I try to go through them, a good amount of time to give people to answer, and then also a little explanation, and then I move on. I try to at least, just to see and try to read comments while you guys answer too. So, but hello everybody, welcome in. I see there's a lot more of you in here now. Thanks for joining. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics. And then I do have all of my study guides available for you guys to download. They're on my website, and they're linked in my bio. But number 17 here, what is the primary function of smooth endoplasmic reticulum? It is B, it is lipid synthesis and detoxification. Moving on to number 18, during which phase of the cell cycle does DNA replication occur? During which phase of the cell cycle does DNA replication occur? Hi, Ollie, I missed the last two answers. Again, if you missed anything, it'll be on YouTube afterwards. It's on YouTube afterwards for you. But hello, welcome in everybody. I appreciate all the follows and all the likes. You guys are awesome. Oh, nice bracelet. Thank you. I have John 3:16 and Jeremiah 29:11. I got them as a Christmas gift or birthday. I got them a long time ago. I've had them for probably like 7 years now. I've had them on every day, and I wash them every day. But it is the S phase. Again, during which phase of the cell cycle does DNA replication occur? It is the S phase, the synthesis phase. This is where the cell duplicates its chromosomes and prepares for cell division. I always think of S synthesis like we're synthesizing the DNA that's required for division to occur. That's always the way that I always kind of try to remember it. Moving on, at number 19, if a cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, what will likely happen? S phase means synthesize, yep. Can I move it to the left? Okay, everyone was saying that it's a little far right. Is the screen good for everybody, or is there anything wrong with it, or? I hated this topic, yes. How's the screen, everybody? Is it can everyone see the screen? I just want to make sure. Screen's good? Okay. It's not centered. Which way? Do I need to move it this way? To the right? Nothing wrong. Okay. Some people say nothing wrong. Some people say it's fine. Okay, screen fine. We'll go with fine. Left. So left. See that look on my screen? It's showing that it's off. Oh, right. Right, sorry. Okay. All right. Oh boy. Oh, my screen's fine. Okay, oh my goodness. I did some ECG, EKG a little yesterday. I can do some later. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. All right. We're going to leave it still for now because everyone says left, right, and fine. So, too many different ones. It looks fine on my screen. So, where were we at? 19. If a cell is placed in a hypertonic solution, what will likely happen? The answer choice here is B. The cell will shrink and it loses water. So the concentration of solutes outside is higher than inside of the cell. So that makes water move outside of the cell, causing it to shrink. Number 20. So hypo would mean it would swell up and burst, and then isotonic means it's just normal. Moving on to number 20, which of the following is a primary difference between active and passive transport? Hypo, hippo, swollen. Hypo is referring to the solute, yes, the concentration of solutes. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Thanks for joining. At number 20, which of the following is the primary difference between active and passive transport? The answer here is B. Active transport moves substances against its concentration gradient, and to move against something, you have to put energy in the form of ATP for it. Passive transport moves down a gradient, meaning that it's a little more natural. You don't need energy. It can occur without energy. But active requires energy in the form of ATP to move against its concentration gradient. All right, moving on to number 21. Which type of epithelial tissue is best suited for diffusion and filtration? So these questions are a little more tissue-oriented now. I remember that from the DAT. Oh, right. That was fast. It was B. 20 was B. Again, if you miss anything, it's going to be on YouTube afterwards. It'll be on YouTube afterwards. It's linked in my bio. They're similar to questions on the TEAS and HESI. They're similar too. I've gotten some feedback from people who have taken it. Yeah, anatomy and physiology chemistry is definitely a lot easier than like AP Chem or general chemistry for sure. I took general chemistry. It's more so just kind of the basics. Like it gives you just the basics enough to get through anatomy essentially. 20 was B. Again, it's going to be on YouTube afterwards if you missed something. But 21, what type of epithelial tissue is best suited for diffusion and infiltration? It is A. It is simple squamous. Simple means one, squamous means flattened. This is found in like the lungs and blood vessels where like we diffuse gases and nutrients. Stratified squamous is multiple layers, so like that would be like in the skin. Simple columnar, that is more so in absorption and secretion, and transitional is meant for like stretching. So this is in like your bladder. Awesome. Columnar is more so in your like digestive system. Columnar is more so in the digestive system. But moving on to number 22, which connective tissue type is responsible for energy storage, insulation, and cushioning organs? So I do make these questions myself. I'm planning on a way to make it so that, because I go live every day, so I have a lot of questions and practice tests and stuff. I'm trying to make it so that it's very easy for people to download. I've been working on that. I've been trying to code that into my website. I definitely will have an announcement whenever it's a little easy. It's just makes it a lot easier for people to download and whatnot. But number 22, which connective tissue type is responsible for energy storage, insulation, and cushioning organs? It is adipose tissue or fat tissue. That, again, we use lipids for energy. Lipids also have insulation and protection for our organs. Number 23, which type of muscle tissue is involuntary? Involuntary, meaning you don't control it, and lacks striations or bands? Thank you for all your help with the TEAS. Yes, no problem. I hope that it is helpful. I have been trying to make these super helpful. I know that the TEAS and HESI and just A&P in general is just a hard exam, like hard class, hard exam. So I try to make it a lot more fun and easier. No life insurance agents in here. What are we doing? Where can we download it? Working on it. I'm coding it into my website now. So no one tries to sell life insurance, fake life insurance here on these lives. Get them out of here. Number 23 is smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is involuntary. It does not have bands, so involuntary with bands would be cardiac muscle. So this is striated. Number 24, which type of cell is responsible for producing fibers in connective tissue? Yeah, so I do have, I'm going over CNS and PNS a little later in this live. I have some questions on it. We did some, yes, we have skeletal muscular system as well. Awesome. But yeah, we'll be covering, yesterday we did some AMP2 topics. Today is more AMP1 for HESI. And then tomorrow we're going over endocrine system stuff. Love how the last three. Yeah, I need to mix up the answer choices a little more sometimes. I tend to do that. But the answer choice is C. Fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are essentially, they're responsible for producing collagen and elastin. They help provide structure and strength, things like that. Chondrocytes are more so for the matrix. Osteocytes or for other bone cells. And then adipocytes are fat cells. Alrighty, moving on. I'm going to go to number 25. The apical surface of epithelial tissue refers to. And if you are just joining us, I do respiratory system. I did that yesterday. We'll probably end up doing it again here on Sunday. I just studied this yesterday for TEAS. Awesome. I'm taking anatomy and physiology right now. I know your professor, and he told me, or she, he or she, or they. He, she, or they told me. 25 again here. So if you're asking, the HESI TEAS are for like the nursing school entrance exams. What time tomorrow? I have my first AMP2. Next week over the endocrine system, it will probably be. I also did digestive system yesterday as well. I do have videos again. The live replays of them are on YouTube afterwards. So if you missed them, you can rewatch them on YouTube. It's linked in my bio. And then I have study guides as well. It's for the endocrine system tomorrow. It'll probably be like early afternoon, I would say. Eastern Standard Time, YouTube. And then my website is MedZeg for study guides for AP, AMP. Number 27 was on the HESI test. Oh. But number 25, the answer choice is B. It is the surface that is exposed to the external environment or a lumen. Essentially, that's exposed to the external environment or lumen, which is the inside of a tubular structure, kind of like such as like the intestines. But 26, which type of bone cell is responsible for bone formation? I have my TEAS test next week. Oh my gosh, good luck. My class zoom through. We're lymphatic and immune now. Oh my goodness, yeah, those were not very fun. I did not enjoy. Well, I kind of like the lymphatic system. It's pretty interesting. Took my TEAS Monday. I didn't pass. Oh no, Sean, I'm sorry. You got it though. Just recuperate and get back onto it. You got it. Okay, yes, we can go over the differences between these cells here real quick as well. So the answer choice here, we'll go over these because these are important to know. You definitely need to know the differences between all these. The answer choice here is C. So osteoblasts, they build up. The way they build up, they form bone. Osteocyte is just a mature bone cell. Osteo means bone, cyte means cell. Osteoclast, the way that I think about it is chew or cleave bone. So they break down bone. And then I remember the chondrocyte is more so for producing the matrix and connective tissue. So that doesn't really pertain to this question too much. But again, osteoblast, build, osteoclast, chew, cleave. That's how I always remembered it. Hopefully that helped. Awesome. Yes, I can repeat this real quick. So again, which type of bone cell is responsible for bone formation? If we're forming bone, we're building bone. So that would give us osteoblast. And then osteoclasts break down bone. They chew bone or they cleave bone. That's how I always remembered it. Awesome. But moving on to number 27, which mineral is the primary component of the bone matrix and provides bone with its hardness? I think probably about 2 weeks for the TEAS. I think it's like 3 weeks to 4 weeks is how long people recommend you study for it. About 3 or 4 weeks, I believe people say. I think it can definitely be done in 2 if you have like time, but if you obviously have some other commitments and stuff, probably like 3 to 4 weeks. Answer choice here is B. It is calcium phosphate. It makes sure it gives its what it forms here is they're called hydroxyapatite crystals. That's what makes bones hard and rigid and things like that. Boop, boop. I didn't know anything about IBDP. Nope, I do not. Calcium is always for bones. I'm in the fast track program. I have to do AMP2 in 3 weeks. Oh my gosh. I actually have not heard of a AMP class in 3 weeks. That's crazy. I normally hear like 16 or 8 or 5 even. I thought 5 was Number 28, which hormone stimulates osteoblast activity and increases calcium deposition in bones? It's only 4 days a week. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. You'd expect it to be like 7 days a week if it's 3 weeks. That's very fast. That's a lot of info in a very short amount of time. But the answer is calcitonin. So remember, calcitonin is essentially, this helps lower. Calcitonin lowers blood calcium levels. Parathyroid hormone increases blood calcium levels. So parathyroid hormone would stimulate osteoclasts so they can chew bone and release calcium into the bloodstream. Calcitonin will take that blood calcium and it will increase osteoblast activity to form bones and deposit calcium. That makes sense, everybody? Yes, my program has us doing AAP 1 and 2 in 2 months. Oh my goodness, I'm very overwhelmed. Oh my goodness. I do these lives every single day. But oh my goodness, that is brutal. I had anatomy and physiology and should have went my brain, yes. Gotcha. Alright, moving on to 29. If you're just joining us, welcome in. We're going over some yes, I am gonna go live tomorrow, yes. We're probably gonna fill out an endocrine chart. It's been a popular request, so we're going to be mainly focused on endocrine hormones tomorrow, going over all their different, what they're produced by, released by, their target tissue, target organ, things like that. Hello. We're moving on to number 29. Which of the following is the first step in bone fracture repair? If you're just joining us, welcome in. My name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology, and I do try to post every day as well here on TikTok. Pretty much all anatomy and physiology content. I do go live pretty much every day. And I do have study guides available on my website for anatomy and physiology. They are the exact study guides that I used in the class and made. They're handmade by myself. They're aesthetic and they're handwritten and they're designed. Everything like that. But moving on here to 29. Which of the following is the first step in bone fracture repair? It is C. It is hematoma formation. Hematoma formation. That's essentially where basically we are helping to stabilize the fracture, and we have to provide a foundation for healing. Do we want to go over the steps for that? Do we need to go over the steps for that real quick? I go to the last one. Why don't we see? Hold on. You got a different answer. Explain, please. Explain. Hematoma is a bruise. Yes. In terms of the last one for osteoblast activity, osteoblasts build bone, and calcitonin decreases blood calcium levels. So we deposit calcium to get rid of calcium in the blood. Alrighty. So for these steps here, we have our hematoma formation. This is like where we begin our inflammatory phase. So this is when bone fractures and the blood vessels are damaged. There's bleeding. The blood pools around that fracture site. And that initial clot, the hematoma, which is our blood clot. This initial clot helps us stop the bleeding and basically provide that foundation for our healing. Inflammation will occur to basically start with the white blood cells and clearing the area of damaged tissue and debris. And then next we will have... Let me make sure. Is everyone good for that so far? Do we understand hematoma formation? Trying to make sure. Yes, yes. Step 2. So this is 1, and this is 2. And again, this is actually in case you are still having trouble, chapter 6, my notes on my website, they're on here as well in detail and whatnot. But number 2 is fibrocartilaginous callus formation. This is where our granulation tissue forms after a few days. Capillaries will grow into this tissue. Phagocytotic cells, which engulf our pathogens, occur here. But fibroblasts will basically migrate to this fracture site, and then the hematoma will be replaced by a soft callus that's made of fibrocartilage. Basically a bridge between the broken end bones, helping stabilize it a little better. Does that part of it make sense of fibrocartilage callus formation, guys, before I talk about the next one? Yes, no? Awesome. Following so far. Perfect. Alrighty, so the third step is bony. Oh, not pony. Oh, God. Bony. Sorry, bony callus formation. Ain't forming no ponies around here. So, bony callus formation. This is when new bone really appear in that fibrocartilaginous callus. Essentially, we move from fibrocartilage to bone. It begins approximately about a week to 4 weeks after the injury, and it keeps continuing until basically the firm union of bone is occurred a month or to 3 months later. And then our last step is bone remodeling. So this is where osteoclasts and osteocytes remodel the fracture. We reduce the bone callus. This occurs for 3 months to 2 to 3 years. That's pretty much it. This is what the osteoclasts just basically reshape it. Osteoblasts build new bone during this time period. Hopefully, was that good, everybody? And then we can move on to number 30. But again, it's on... Yes, sweet. Alright, move on to number 30. Which process involves the replacement of cartilage with bone during fetal development and growth? Awesome, yes, perfect. Again, it's those are my chapter 6 notes if you're still a little confused about it. But number 30 is B, the process that involves replacing cartilage with bone during fetal development is endochondral ossification. Intramembranous ossification, that's where bone formation it occurs directly from mesenchymal tissue. That's like bone. That's like flat bones, like the skull. Hopefully, see, we got a weird thing that popped up. But anyway, all right. Moving on to number 31. Which type of joint is characterized by a fluid-filled cavity that allows free movement? Okay, we're moving on to number 31. Awesome. Thank you for the W. Appreciate it. L. Dior, thank you. Or EJ Dior, thank you. Thanks for the follows, guys. Thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gifts, guys. All those gifts are incredible. I appreciate it. Number 31, which type of joint is characterized by a fluid-filled cavity that allows for free movement? That is a synovial joint. C, synovial. Synovial joints, they have fluid-filled cavities. A synovial cavity. Essentially, that lubricates the joint and basically reduces the friction. Hopefully that made sense. We're going over this now for my A&P exam. Thank you. Yes, no problem. I'm happy to do it. Thanks for sharing the live, guys. Awesome. Thank you, Gonzo, for the crab. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you, guys. You guys are so awesome. Moving on to number 32. Which type of synovial joint allows movement in all planes, including rotation? Awesome. It is B. It is a ball and socket joint. So ball and socket joint, that's like the shoulder or the hips, basically where a rounded head of one bone fits into like a socket. But we'll move on here to number 33. Which asks, what is the function of synovial fluid in a joint? We kind of just talked about that, but I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer if you didn't miss that. Hinges like a door one way. Yep. Thanks for all the likes, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for following. Again, if you're just joining us, my name's Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. I have all my study guides and notes available for anatomy and physiology on my website. They're linked in my bio. And then if you're just joining us or you don't stay the whole time, I do post the recordings of these lives. Oh, thank you for the March 4-leaf clover. Who sent that? I didn't get a name at first. Sorry. But they are available on YouTube afterwards. Island Spirit, thank you for the rose. Whoever put the 4-leaf clover in there, thank you so much. It didn't show up on my screen of the name, but thank you. But 33 was the function of the synovial fluid. That is B, to reduce the friction and lubricate it. Moving on to 34, which type of joint connects the bones of the skull? What type of joint connects the bone to the skull? Awesome. Thanks for all the follows, guys. Thanks for joining. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys. How many questions? It's 60, so we're kind of nearing the second half here. But it is C. It is a suture joint. Those are the fibrous joints that connect the bones of the skull. They're immovable. They have like a zigzaggy appearance. Like Charlie Brown's hair, kinda. That's all I always kind of remembered, suture. But moving on, number 35, the knee joint functions as which type of joint? It's kind of like a door hinge. Oh my god, wait. I'm sorry, guys. So I gave away the answer. The knee joint primarily functions as what type of joint? It's a hinge joint. It's kind of like a door hinge. Sorry, I gave away the answer. My bad. Moving on to 36. What is the origin of the biceps brachii muscle? Moving on to some muscular system questions. Love the YouTube channel. Starting school again for RN. Awesome. Congratulations, Spicy. I'm glad to hear that you're starting school again. I'm glad to hear that this has been a great refresher. I hope that that's all I'm trying to do. Just trying to help out, make things easier. I know anatomy and physiology is pretty rough for people, so I definitely am planning on making more YouTube videos than just like the live stream and things like that. So there's definitely plans for more content on YouTube than just the replays of the lives. So there will definitely be more content there. We go over the muscular system next. A lot of people are like, it's weird because some people are on it, some people are done with it, some people haven't done it yet. It's very strange. But the origin of the biceps brachii muscle is the scapula, specifically the coracoid process and the supraglenoid tubercle. This is mostly just like straight up, I'll just be real with you guys, straight up remote memorization for these. Any mnemonic that you can make up is great, but most of this just a straight up origin insertion action table. That's what I did. But I have some origin and insertion questions in here that we can practice. But number 37, the insertion of the quadriceps femoris is at the what? The insertion of the quadriceps. Oh, thank you for the dino. I appreciate it. Gonzo, thank you for the dinos. Tiny dinos. If I don't miss any questions that you guys have. Thank you for sharing the live, guys. But I'll give you guys a couple seconds to answer. Is the tibial tuberosity? Remember, the origin is the most proximal and superficial one, and insertion is where it inserts at distally. So the quadriceps femoris is in the quads, and its insertion, which is lower distal to midline, is the tibial tuberosity. Number 38, the origin of the deltoid muscle is located at the... The origin of the deltoid muscle is located at the... If you guys want me to go a little faster through here... can we go over proximal planes? We can do it at the end of the questions. I guess, like, what do you mean by proximal plane? Like, do you just want to know, like, you mean the anatomical planes, or you mean, like, proximal? Kind of means closer to the point of origin. Go back. Yep, we can go back. Let me see that. Oh, I'm so confused. Gotcha. Need my questions to load here. Sorry, guys. My comments are a little messed up. But the answer here to number 38, the origin of the deltoid muscle is located at the clavicle, the acromion, and the spine of the scapula. So A. Answer choice is A. Uh, 39. Which of the following muscles inserts at the ocrine process of the ulna? There's a question, but hip is proximal to me, isn't wrist proximal to elbow? So the elbow would be proximal. Wait, what? Wish I taught chemistry too. Oh boy, I don't know. Chemistry is, I don't really like chemistry all too much, to be honest. Yeah, these are hard. We can go through these a little faster. I figured some people asked for some harder muscular system questions, so I decided to do some harder questions, but we can just skim through these real quick. But the answer is A. It is the triceps brachii. It inserts at the organ process of the ulna. Number 40, the insertion of the gastrocnemius muscle. That is going to be at the calcaneus. That occurs via the Achilles tendon. The gastrocnemius muscle. The insertion of the gastrocnemius muscle is at the calcaneus via the Achilles tendon. All right, that's all with those muscular system questions. I do have some nervous system questions for the rest now. I don't? Okay. It's totally fine. Thanks again for the tiny dino, Gonzo. Yeah, I figured they weren't. A lot of people were asking about some of those questions, so I figured I'd throw them in there. That's all. It was requested that we throw them in there, so they're in there. That request has been satisfied. So, but we can move on to number 41 here. We have a bunch of nervous system questions from now on, from here on out. Cranial nerves, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and the general senses. Number 41, which cranial nerve is responsible for cell? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 1, 2, 3, or 4? As much as I love fast runs, please explain some of these. Yeah, so the last couple ones there, I was going a little faster just because it's more so just memorization. There's not, in my opinion, not too much to explain about those. But these ones will definitely explain a little more, just because they're more a little, they're memorization, but there's also a little more physiology as well to them. But the answer choice here is 1. Cranial nerve 1 is the olfactory nerve. And the olfactory nerve, that's responsible for smell. It transmits that information, sensory information, from those olfactory receptors in the nose to the brain. All right, move on to number 42. Which cranial nerve is responsible for visual information? Which cranial nerve is responsible for visual information? Isn't there a picture of the nerves like mnemonic? Yes, I do have... on my page, I have... Will this be on YouTube? Yes, it will be on YouTube. I do have a cranial nerve mnemonic on TikTok. It's down a little farther, but it is on there. And then I do have my chapter 13 notes have mnemonics in there as well. The answer here is 2, cranial nerve 2. That is our optic nerve. This is our optic nerve. Transmits visual information, sensory information from the retina to the brain to be processed. Number 43, which cranial nerve is primarily responsible for facial expression? Which of the following cranial nerves is primarily responsible for facial expression? Yes, I did like that one. That's the one I have on my thing. Once one takes the anatomy final, very good vacations are heavenly. Some people here. Yes, it is 7. It is the facial nerve. For number 43, good job, guys. Number 44, the vagus nerve is responsible for regulating which system? Oh, wait, that might be a silly question. I think I might have messed up that question. Vagus nerve is 10, and that's just for, I'll just give the answer here, but it is for like heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate. I think I just messed up that question a little bit. Sorry. We'll move on. 45. Which cranial nerve is involved in hearing and balance? Which one is involved in hearing and balance? Thank you for the following. If you're just joining us, welcome in. My name is Ollie. I go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology. I'm very glad to see you guys. It's always good to see some new faces and some familiar faces. Thank you, Gonzo, for the goat. I appreciate it. How do you retain all this information? I'm about to take anatomy and physiology for the summer. New here. Okay, so 4 goats. I appreciate it, Gonzo. So honestly, for anatomy, what and where things are, flashcards for what things are, practice labeling for where things are, and for physiology, like the best thing to do is just explain it out loud. So as you read, look away and try to see if you can recall what you just read. But number 45 is 8. Cranial nerve 8 is the vestibulocochlear nerve that's responsible for hearing and balance. Also transmitting sound information via the cochlea. And the vestibular system sends over that basically information that allows us to balance. But number 46, we'll move on here. Which of the following events occurs immediately after an action potential reaches the axon terminal of a presynaptic neuron? So once the action potential reaches the axon terminal, so we have our action potential, what happens? But you got this for over the summer. You definitely got this. What time are you always here? It kind of depends. Mostly like 11:30 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time. But the answer here is B. Voltage-gated calcium channels open and they trigger neurotransmitter release. So once we reach about positive 30 millivolts, calcium channels release, and that triggers neurotransmitter release, specifically in ACH. But number 47, damage to the Wernicke's area in the dominant hemisphere is most likely to cause which of the following conditions? Damage to the Wernicke's area in the dominant hemisphere is most likely to cause which of the following conditions? It is B. It is difficulty understanding spoken and written language. Damage to the Broca's area would affect speech production. Excuse me, I just had to hiccup. Number 48, which of the following correctly describes the function of the dorsal or posterior horn of the spinal cord? Give you guys a couple seconds. Again, which of the following correctly describes the function of the dorsal or the posterior horn of the spinal cord? What would be its function? Give you guys a couple seconds to answer. It's hard to see over the comments. Okay, here, I'll scroll down some. Is that better to see? Sorry. Awesome, sweet. It is B. It transmits sensory information from the periphery to the brain. Number 49, which of the following is a primary function of cerebrospinal fluid, or CSF? We'll have a test on this soon. Awesome, Cindy. Good luck on your test. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit, just some practice and whatnot. But definitely hope this help you practice. Thank you for sharing the live. I appreciate it. I made this test myself. Basically from a lot of the HESI and TEAS materials that they list. Pretty much all the study guides I have, or study guides I make, questions I make, everything that I have is pretty much made by myself. I try to do everything myself. I'm very particular. So I like doing things myself, so I will make questions myself. I'll make study guides and notes myself. Everything, diagrams and everything, all made by me. But it is C. It is to maintain ionic balance and cushion the brain. Basically protects it from injury and things like that. But number 50, last 10 questions here. Which neurotransmitter is primarily responsible for inhibiting excessive neuronal activity in the central nervous system and plays a role in preventing seizures? Do I know your teacher? I swear you always have a test exactly like my teacher. I don't. I mean, it depends who your teacher is. Who is, what school would you go to? Maybe, there are 60 questions. There are 60. Lone Star. No. I do not know your teacher then, for sure. But, interesting enough. But it is C, it is GABA. GABA is basically our main inhibitory neurotransmitter in the CNS. And it prevents seizures by inhibiting the excessive neuronal firing. Moving on to number 51. Which of the following occurs when the sympathetic nervous system is activated? Ooh, good guess. Awesome, Sarah. Good guess. We love a good guess. Those are probably always the best when you have a good guess. What am I going through? ANP2. So I did go through ANP2 yesterday. That video is uploaded to YouTube already. I'll be going back over again ANP2 stuff starting on Sunday again. So today is more on ANP1. But number 51, which of the following occurs when the sympathetic nervous system is activated? It is C. We increase our glucose release, and also bronchodilation. The sympathetic nervous system is going to prepare us for our fight or flight. We increase glucose release. That provides us energy to deal with that stress. And then bronchodilation to increase airflow to the lungs. Moving on here. In a withdrawal reflex, such as pulling your hand away from a hot surface, which of the following would correctly describe the role of interneurons of the spinal cord? And if you are just joining, welcome in. My name is Ollie. I have a master's degree in molecular medicine, and I go live with anatomy and physiology topics every single day. Tomorrow we'll do some endocrine hormones, mostly. But I do topics for A&P. I go over topics and chapters individually. Sometimes I go over everything, kind of just to hit for an exam, like today, HESI and TEAS. These are kind of some more, moving into some more specific, a little harder questions, just to hit some homes. What time do I go live? Normally, sometimes I try to go live between 11:30. So I start going live. So 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Obviously, today is not that case. Sometimes, things come up. But 52 in a withdrawal reflex, which of the following correctly describes interneurons' role? The answer to it is C. They integrate sensory input, and then they relay that motor output, basically without even involving the brain. Move on to number 53. Which of the following is a key difference between somatic and autonomic nervous systems? Thanks for sharing the live, everybody. I really appreciate it. And thanks for following. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for liking the live. You guys are awesome. Seriously, thank you so much. So the answer is C. It's kind of a longer one here, but the somatic nervous system, it uses a single motor neuron. The autonomic uses two, so there's a preganglionic and a post one. Alrighty. The somatic nervous system, it has a straight, direct path from the spinal cord to skeletal muscles, basically just using one motor neuron. And the autonomic nervous system has preganglion, which is that synapse with the post, mainly affecting like a target organ. Hopefully that helped. But number 54, which neurotransmitter is released by preganglionic neurons in both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems? Somatic system is voluntary. Somatic is voluntary, not involuntary. And autonomic is involuntary. So think of automatic. You don't have to think about it. More visible. I can start bolding them in the next time. Next time I'll do that. Thanks for following and thanks for sharing, guys. I really appreciate it. The answer is acetylcholine. For number 54. That is released by both the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. It activates the receptors on those postganglionic neurons. But number 55, unlike the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system has limited ability to regenerate damaged nerves. So which of the following structures would play a crucial role in guiding axonal regrowth after a nerve injury? Again, there's mainly the difference here is which one is the PNS versus the CNS. Which type of cell? Awesome. It is C. Schwann cells, and then in the oligodendrocytes would be in the central nervous system. Moving on here. Number 56, which type of sensory receptor is responsible for detecting changes in temperature? We have some general senses A&P questions here. Awesome. It is thermoreceptors. Thermo meaning temperature. 57. Why do some sensory receptors quickly adapt to a constant stimulus while others do not? Why do some sensory receptors adapt quickly? The answer here is C. Our fast adapting receptors respond to changes, while slow adapting receptors would basically continue to fire to ensure awareness. It's a tricky question, I know. 58. Which of the following best describes why pain signals persist even after a painful stimulus is removed? Explain this one. So whenever you have, anything painful happens to you, you have something called substance P and glutamate neurotransmitters. What happens is even afterwards, they are in the spinal cord and they enhance that pain signaling to the brain to let you know that you're still feeling that pain. So that's why. Last two questions here. 59. Which of the following general sensory receptors is responsible for detecting muscle stretch and maintaining posture? I learned this today. 57 was C. 57 was C. This will be on YouTube probably tomorrow morning. So if you miss anything, it will be on there. The answer here is a muscle spindle. So muscle spindles are responsible. There's sensory receptors in muscles that detect stretch and basically help maintain posture they provide feedback on the muscle length and tension. Number 60, our last question here, guys. Which part of the brain is primarily responsible for processing and relaying sensory information into the appropriate cortical areas? Last question here, guys. Last question. What part of the brain is primarily responsible for processing and relaying sensory information? Give you guys a couple seconds. My cat is ready for some cuddles. Come here, buddy. He's getting big. He's a very cute guy. Put him up here in my lap while we do this. The answer here is C. It is the thalamus. The thalamus is responsible for that. That was all the questions I had for today. I will have this up on YouTube probably by tomorrow. It will be up tomorrow morning. That's pretty much all I had for today. Again, if you guys are joining and you haven't introduced myself, my name is Ollie. I do go live every single day covering anatomy and physiology topics. And then all of my study guides are available on my website for anatomy and physiology if you need any extra help. But I do try to do topic requests. I try to make videos for you guys. It's all free. So my YouTube channel, it's linked in my bio as well as my website. Everything that you will need is on my website. Thank you all so much for joining. Good luck in your classes and everything, guys. Were there any other quick questions? Thank you, yours truly. I'm glad that you were able to learn something. I'm glad that I was able to help out with that. So, any other just like quick questions here? You said you're posting this on YouTube. Yes, the replay will be on YouTube. The replay will be on YouTube tomorrow. Probably not tonight, but it'll probably be on there tomorrow morning. Just because that's the process and everything. But every time I go live, every live stream is uploaded to YouTube. So everything is up there for you guys to watch. It's labeled by whatever topic I went over or whatever exam I covered. Thank you guys as well. Thank you guys so much. But I will see you guys tomorrow. You'll have a great night.